Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we'll be making this fur coat in a child size. It can be made in any size because you get to take your measurements and make the coat off of them. The major measurements for this to fit properly are shoulder to shoulder and armpit depth. The sleeves and the length of the coat are easy to adjust as you make it. It is a fairly simple construction of rectangles, then they are sewn together. This particular coat used approximately 561 meters or 613 yards. The yarn is super bulky weight and the project was quick to make. Half double crochet stitch is the main stitch to make this. The stitches are not visible like a normal yarn, so you have to feel for stitches. My advice is to make them as loose as possible so it is easy to tell them apart. Let's talk about the materials we're going to need for this coat. I am using this fur yarn by Loops and Threads. It is a super bulky weight yarn number 6. It calls for 8mm hook, and this is what we are going to use. We need a tape measure, stitch markers to hold our coats together later on, and a needle with a big eye. I have this one because this is very thick. It will be easier to just put through in here. We are starting with a back panel. Let's make a slip knot, and my chains should measure 15 inches. This is very hard to see the stitches, so make sure you make the chains loose so you'll be able to feel as you insert the hook once you start working on the body of the coat. Alright, I'm gonna measure and see how. Okay, got 14. I need to have 15 inch. Okay, so I have 15 inches. So for round 1, I'm going to feel for the first chain and then go into the second chain and make a half double crochet. And then feel for the second chain, make another half double crochet. Even your stitches, make sure you have them loose, otherwise you're going to have a problem finding the top or the beginning of each round. My chains are very loose, so it's easy for me. See, I can just put my finger through and then insert the hook, feel the next one and insert the hook. This is all done with half double crochet stitches, so it's very easy. The tricky part is just that you can see where your stitches are. Make sure you fill them really well so you don't put 2 stitches in one, otherwise you're going to increase and then end up with a triangle of some sort. We are making a rectangle right now. And the other tip that you can do is after you do your first row, count your stitches so that you count them in every row so you don't miss any or you don't add any. Okay. And once you have the stitches, because they are tall, it will be easier to count them. Okay, and this is the last stitch. This is very stretchy. So there you have it. This is my round one. This grows really quick because it's very thick. So you're gonna do this row until you have the length that you want. I am going for about 12 inches. I'll see how it is once I put it against my daughter's back to see how long it is. It's up to her to decide on how long she wants it. So once I have the desired length of it, then we will meet. I just counted my stitches. I have 31 across, so from here on I'm gonna make sure on each row I have 31 stitches, so I don't decrease or increase. I'm gonna chain 1 and 10, feel for the first stitch. I can put my finger through, make a half double crochet, feel for the second stitch. I can feel it right in here and make another half double crochet. The back panel is done. We are moving on to having front panels. So I have a little picture here. We are going to have a neck opening, and this we're gonna have 3 rows, and then add the rest of the stitches. So we have we don't have a gap for the front panels. I have stitch markers here, so this marks the center of the stitches. If you remember, we had 31 stitches, so this is on the 15th stitch, and then I counted 3 stitches going this way, 3 stitches going that way. So this will be our neck opening. From here we're going to work 3 rows and then add the 3 stitches, and then continue with the front panel, and it's going to be the same on this side as well. So this is the end of the yarn, but it is also the beginning of the front panel. So I'm just gonna continue with this one. I've already made like a half stitch, and then I'm going to finish this stitch with the new yarn so I don't have to have a knot. Okay, and then I'm gonna chain 2, turn the work. I'm bringing this along so I don't have to weave in the end slit. I'm gonna feel for the stitch, first stitch, insert the hook and make my stitch. Remember, with this yarn you just have to feel where the stitch goes, and I'm going to do this until I reach my stitch marker. All right, I have reached this stitch marker, and I'm going to repeat this row 2 more times. I now have the 3 rows. We need to close the gap here, so I have 1, 2, 3 to get here. I need to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, but we need a turning chain, so I'm gonna add 2, which will be our turning chains. So I got 1, 2. On the 3rd chain you make a stitch. 1, 2, 3. All right, now I'm continuing as normal with my 4th row. Okay, and this is how it looks so far. And then from here it's just normal rows where I'm gonna work the same stitch until it's the same height as the back panel. Okay, so the best way is to count your rows so that you have the same rows for the front panel as well. And then when you are done this side, you also work on that side. You may have a stitch marker, and there make 3 rows and then add the remaining stitches so you can close your coat. It is time to make our sleeves. I've already made one here. It is just a big rectangle. The length from the armpit all the way to the wrist is 17 inches, and for the armpit depth I measured from the top of the shoulder all the way under the armpit, and it measured 13 inches. So this is what I have here. Yeah, about 13 inches. Okay. For the sleeve, I need to chain 25 for me to get the 13 inches. Okay. So this is 25, but that's just the chain, and it is 13 or 12 and a half. But once you start making the stitches, it just becomes it stretches. This is a very stretchy yarn. I'm gonna have 2 more, which will be my turning chains, and then I skip them, make a half double crochet on the 3rd chain from the hook, and I continue with my pattern, which is half double crochet throughout. So I'm feeling for the chain, so this is the one I just made as stitch on. This is my next stitch, my next chain, sorry. And then I feel for the next one, and this is my finger, this is where I'm putting, okay, here, okay, yeah, this is the next one, and put a stitch, and this is the last chain, and this is our first row. I'm gonna chain 2 and turn the work. Feel for the first stitch. With the stitches, it's much easier to just put your fingers through because you can tell with the toe stitches now, and you make a half double crochet across. Make sure you count your stitches because sometimes it's easy to miss a stitch. So if you have 24 stitches on your first row, make sure on the second row you have 24 stitches as well. Otherwise you're going to keep decreasing, and then your sleeve is going to get narrower and narrower, so it's easy to miss a stitch with this yarn. Be patient and count your stitches. there is no increasing or decreasing. We're just going to have a rectangle for a sleeve. Work this stitch until you have your desired sleeve length. Okay, and we will meet to put our coat together after you make the two sleeves. Second sleeve is done. It's time to move on to seaming our coat all together. So I'm gonna leave a long tail, maybe like 3 times the length of the sleeve, and cut the yarn. I'm just gonna use my fingers to fasten off this stitch. And then I'm going to fold the sleeve in half. And I'm gonna seam the sleeve lengthwise. So I'm gonna go from here all the way down there, and this side is gonna go into the panels. Okay, so I'm using my big eye needle. If you don't have a needle like this, just use your hook to make slip stitch to seam your stitches together. Okay, there's no right or wrong on seaming the coat together. So I'm just gonna align the rows together, and then I'm going with the feel again. I'm just gonna feel the stitches. This is the top of the stitch, and just gonna weave, insert the needle and go through. Just gonna double it here. Maybe if I turn it this way, it will be easier for me. And I'm going to insert the needle in, out, and then from the inside out on the top. And then go back again from under to the top. Align it to the top part of the sleeve. Insert the needle and pull through. The yarn is very thick. So I make sure I insert the needle really close to each other. So this is the last stitch. So I just feel just to go below it and insert my needle. Move up, feel where the last yarn went through, and put the needle right next to it so I don't have a lot of gaps. repeating this until we get here. Okay, you do that on your part, and we will meet to seam the sleeve to the panels. It's time to seam the sleeve onto the panel. So this is the back panel and this is the front panel. I have folded it right in the center. I have a stitch marker here, and I'm just gonna put right in the middle, and then with this already folded, just hook my finger into the top of the sleeve and put it together just to keep it in place while we seam this sleeve onto the I still have leftover yarn from this sleeve, so we're gonna start from the bottom here, and I'm just gonna feel again, insert the needle on the top of the front panel, and do it one more time in the same place just to secure the first stitch. So it's the top of the sleeve against the front panel, because you're gonna go around, and I'm just gonna go in and out with the yarn from the sleeve, insert from the sleeve, and then put through the front panel. And I'm going to do this around the sleeve. I am right on top of the both panel, well, the sleeve and the panel. I'm right by the stitch marker, going around. Now moving on to the back of the sleeve to the back panel. I'm gonna go around until I reach the end of the sleeve. I have seamed around the sleeve. Now I'm going to continue to seam the sides. I'm gripping one corner of the front panel, insert my yarn, my needle, feel for the next stitch, and pull through. My rows here are aligned, This is the back panel, this is the front panel. And I'm pretty much doing the same thing that I did around the sleeve on the panels, but this time around I'm just seaming the panels together, the front and the back. This is the last stitch, or the last seam, and this is the beginning of the front panel. I'm just gonna double knot it just to secure the end, and then I'm just gonna weave in the ends just to blend in the yarn. Just weave through a few times. It gets stuck sometimes. So I have all these ends that I need to weave in just to secure the yarn. So this is the one side, the side, and the sleeve. I am left with doing the other side as well. So you do that and we will be done with our coat.